Okay, guys, welcome back. So we're going to be continuing on with our example number 2. And so we're looking back at our drawing right here. And so right now we have this shape. We're going to be drawing this shape, this triangular shape. And so how we're going to do that is we have to connect our circles. And the way we're going to do that is with a tangent line. Okay, so we're going to come back to our drawing. And so you're going to come over here to this menu right here. You're going to click on the menu options. And so to draw tangent lines, the first thing we have to do is turn off our center. We're going to turn off our intersection, and we're going to turn on tangent. And so you can see tangents are used to connect circles, right? And so what we're going to do is have our tangent line. We're going to come over here, click on our line tool. And so then when we come down to our first circle, okay, so we're going to zoom in a little bit, okay? And so it says specify first point. You want to make sure you're directly on that circular line. So you see how I'm going over and it says deferred tangent. Okay, make sure you have deferred tangent, and then you're going to click, and then you're going to draw a line, right? So we're going to zoom out a little bit. And so I'm going to be drawing up until I see deferred tangent again. And so I'm going to make sure that I have deferred tangent so you can see it again. Boom. All right, so now I'm going to hit escape. And so now we're going to be drawing another line. So let's zoom in a little bit. Okay. We're going to be selecting that line again. And so now we're going from this side. Okay. So now we're going to go right onto our line, deferred tangent, bring it down here until we're on the line right here, deferred tangent, hit escape. And now we're going to draw our last line. So we have to select line one more time. And so now we're going from this point right here, deferred tangent, and we're going to be going into this line right here, deferred tangent. Okay, and now we're hitting escape again. So now we have our shapes drawn, and so you can see that we have our shapes drawn. And so the next thing that we have to do is we have to make it look like this, right? So we're going to have to delete our inside circles. So now to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to go up here to your layers. Okay, you're going to turn off your construction layer for now. And then we're going to use what's called a trim tool. Okay, so you're going to click on the trim tool, and you can see the trim tool is to delete lines that are with it that are connected, right? So we're going to use our trim tool. And so we bring it down here. You're going to see as we get inside our circle here, we're going to hit enter. Okay, and so now let's hit escape one more time. Let's hit that trim tool one more time. And so you can see this box. This is the box that you need to have, this little square. Now, when you have that little square, now you're going to hit enter. And so now it's going to be able to delete our interior circles. So you see how when we go over here, it only deletes the interior side. The reason why that happens is because it's connected with a tangent line. Okay. And so now we're going to come up here and do the same thing on our other two circles. So we're going to delete our interior lines. And the last line is here. All right. And so now we're looking a little bit more like our example, right? So we have our example. And so now what we have to do is we have to add our center points. Okay. And then we're going to draw our connecting center line. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go over here. We're going to go to annotate. And so it's going to be center mark. So we're going to click on center mark and then come down here to the center of our circle, right? And then we're going to click on it, right? So we're going to click on, there we go. Okay, so now we have our center mark done. And so now we can do it on all of our little circles. So let's add our center marks onto all of our circles, okay? And so the next thing we're going to do is hit escape. And so what we need to do is we need to delete our X and Y, right? So we want to go ahead and right click on that X and Y. You see how it's highlighted, and it's going to be USC icon. So we're going to delete that. So we're just not going to show it. It's not going to be deleted. It just won't be shown. So we're going to turn that off. And so now we're looking a little bit more. So now we got to draw this circle right here. The way that we're going to do that is we're going to come up here and we're going to add another layer. Okay, so we're going to go back over here to our home. We're going to go to our layers. Okay, and so we're going to be adding another layer. So you're going to right click, go to new layer. Okay, and this is going to be center. Okay, and then the type of line needs to be center line. Okay, so if you don't, I have it already loaded here. Okay, if you don't have it loaded, you can go to load and then you can choose it, right? So you're going to scroll down here till you find center and then you'll load it. Okay, but I already have mine loaded, so I'm going to have it center and then I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so you're going to see, and we're keeping it as white. So now we're going to select that center line, right? So we're going to go ahead and click out of here. We're going to select that center line, and we're going to select circle. And then from our center point here, and so let's turn on the center point again and turn off our tangents. Let's go back over here. Let's turn off the tangent. We don't need that anymore. We need to turn back on our center and turn back on our intersection. Okay, now once we do that, we're going to come back over here, select our circle. Now we should zoom in right there, right? And so we're going to draw a intersecting line that's going to the center, right? The center. And so when we go to the center of one of these circles, it should be the center of all the circles. Now when you press it, that's going to lock it in place. And now what this is doing is it's showing whoever is going to be building this that all of the lines are, that all of the circles are perfectly even, right? And so if you look at this line right here, our center line, you can see that it is perfectly even all the way across. All right, so looking pretty good, right? So what do we got left? Oh, we have to add our dimensions, right? And so we have our center points on each one. We have our circle, right? Our center circle that's showing that it's all connected. And so now what we're going to be doing is adding dimensions. And to do this, we're going to be adding another layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and add layers. Okay, and so we're going to go to new layer. And this layer is going to be called dimensions. Okay, and so this is not going to be using the center. It's going to be using continuous. Hit OK. And so for this one, we're going to put it as, let's put it as cyan, right? Cyan color. Okay. Hit out of this. And so now we're going to select that layer, dimensions. Okay. And so now we're going to be using dimensions. Okay. And so when we come over here, if I click on the edge of a circle, okay, it should show me the diameter, right? So if I click on this, it should show me the diameter to that circle. Okay, so I'm going to click on dimensions again. So it showed me the diameter to that circle. And so let's look at the diameter of this circle right here, right? And then we got the diameter of this circle right here. Then we have the diameter of, we already did that circle. And so now this is the test. If we come over here to this edge right here, it should show us the radius, because you can see it's the half arc. So if you did this right and you drew the tangents correctly, when you click on here, it's going to show you your radius. All right, so now we have all of our circles complete. And so now we're going to come back up here to our dimension tool, and we're going to add our dimensions in. So if we look at our examples here, this should be 3.90. We should have 1.12 between the center of the circle and our construction line here. And I think that's it. All right, so let's do this. And so we're going to go right here. We're going to go from the center of this circle right here to the center of this circle. And this should be 3.90 and then some change, right? So maybe we didn't have it right. Let's see here what's going on. Okay, so let's go back up, check our dimensions one more time. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I want to be directly in the center to directly in the center. Okay, so ours is a little bit different. So 3.89. So it rounds up to 3.90. Okay. And so I wonder why that's 3.9. So we may have to change that to 3.89. I'll probably do that. And then the last thing that we're going to do, is this center line here, right? Going from the center of the circle down to this, showing where that construction line is going to be, right? So we're going to go from here right? We're going to come down to our center point right here, right? I'm going to bring this out, showing where that construction line would be, right? All right, so this looks pretty good. And so the only other thing that we may have to do is come up here with the text and may have to add, let's add a text box for 3 times, right? So 3 times 0.56. And so let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to add a text box right here. And so we're going to do center. Let's not do it right there. Let's do home. Let's hit escape. Let's try, if we click on, let's go to text. Let's put it right here. All right, so 3 times. There we go. All right, so 3 times 0.056. We got the 2.25. We got our construction line area. We got our radius for our half circles. We have our distance from this point to this point as 3.898, right? Which I guess rounds up to 3.90. I guess that's why they did that in our drawing. And then we have our radius of our interconnecting circle, okay? And so the last thing we have to do is we have to make sure we're signed in. Let's make sure we're signed in, guys, before we do this, right? Because we want to make sure that you are signed into your account when you do your submission. Okay, so let's make sure you sign in with your email address. Right. All right. So now we're signed in. So the last thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting this out and putting it into our assignment for today. Okay, so go to new, and then we're going to cut this whole piece out, right? So I want to be able to see your name, right, when you submit this, okay? So it should show just like this, all of your dimensions, all of your labels, your name that you're signed in, right? And then you would just hit copy and then put that into your assignment for today. Okay, guys, I hope that helps you. I hope that you understand the amount of layers that we have here, right? I hope you understand all of your dimensions, right? So the last thing that we have to do right now is just go to save. So we're going to go up here. We're going to save it as drawing. And then it's going to open up. You're going to name it as example 2, right? We'll just do part 2, right? Because this is part 2, save. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will talk to you guys later, and good luck with this assignment.